here we are. So Eduardo, the next presenter.
Okay, so my paper is about can ChatGPT suggest patterns. So the idea was to analyze how it can help for design problems. So I get from one of my apprentices, right? He usually, so this is a good example. So they kind of learn all the design patterns, but the main difficulty is like, okay, so when you have a problem, can you identify which pattern to apply there? So it's kind of easy if you like, oh, how is the strategy, or what are the consequences, that are like direct questions. But when you have like a context, a scenario in which you need to apply the pattern, it's kind of hard. Thankfully, for this specific one, he has an artificial intelligence that can help him to know which pattern to apply. I'm sorry you don't speak Droid, so it's actually saying to use strategy, right? So, okay, so what we did, we pick up a lot of questions from exams. So we pick up from 3 different teachers from different countries, and we also get 37 questions from public tenders from Brazil. So like these exams you do to enter in a public company in a position on software development. And we don't pick up any questions. We want questions that ask which pattern to apply in a concrete scenario. So the question give a scenario, a concrete one, not a generic one, because we found some generic ones. And we use as the scope only the gang of 4 patterns, right? So we were able to find questions about all the patterns, right? Of course, some of them just only one, but we found with all the patterns. And then we give to the artificial intelligence these questions to see if it was able to get the right patterns. Okay, the first thing is that it's impressive the amount of correct questions we get from the artificial intelligence. In this case, for example, we have like the correct question from the public tender and or for the teachers to compare. In some cases, we have questions that have more than one pattern as the correct answer. These ones he get right, all of them. And we also have some questions that accept different patterns as the correct answer, right? So that was pretty good. We also investigated on all the questions which were the what content that the answers have. So a thing that I was found very positive is 100% of the questions were specific to that context. It's not just use that pattern, this pattern, generically, it's like this. He always put the use of the pattern, like using names from the context in the answer. 58% explained the patterns. Some of them even included classes interface or described the methods as part of the explanation. So sometimes even given name for the methods, name for the classes, which match the content, but none of them presented any trade-off, like any negative aspect of using the pattern. We also analyzed the wrong answers, and because there are some patterns that kind of have a similar structure to understand if they okay, it's not exactly the pattern, but it's showing you the right direction. Actually, 3 of the 4 answers kind of pointed to a direction that has nothing to do with the correct pattern. And so I put that, I was so sure because ChatGPT answer like he's completely sure on what he is doing. So, and to finalize, we have some piece of knowledge. Different of other patterns with less material available, the result might be. So in this case, we pick up golf patterns that has a lot of material available, maybe new patterns, like we find some questions, for example, for microservice patterns, maybe the result can be different, but we choose this scope. And the right questions to get the right answers you must do. And the point here is that the questions kind of have all the information you need to reach in a specific pattern. So it kind of put all the constraints you want. And in this case, just to conclude, and in a real environment, maybe you don't have all these elements. So maybe the result can also be different. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, one question.
Quick question. So AI gets 93% correct. How do human beings baseline against different levels seniority of developers?
Let's say we did not make the other one because, let's say, even the knowledge level, but I would say by my experience, these are the kind of questions that the students struggle more. Like,
But it would be interesting to find out what's the correlation between the two.
yes, sure.
Go ahead.
You said
Thank
you
you.
fed the AI
Edward.
with like all the patterns, and in your closing slide, you also said something like there's no material for the Gulf. And I was wondering about the all, because I know Gulf are 21 patterns, but out there in the world, I have no idea, but probably 2,000 patterns, design patterns. And I was wondering, did you feed it with all of them? Because the AI is the better the more it has learned before.
Yeah, no, they were added in an independent session, so each one was.
So how many patterns?
No, let's say we use ChatGPT,
Yeah.
so the way it is. So we just put the questions and get the.
Yeah, so you did. Yeah.
So yeah, we let's say in this case, the golf patterns has a lot of
Thank you.
material.
Thank you. And the next presentation was two presenters, Paulina and Alexandra.
Okay. You just pause it.